Hey, gang. You're once again up front with Frank Rothstein on Sky's Crescent Radio. That's SKYES. And sorry I wasn't here yesterday, but we had some stuff come up, so I'm doing it today. What goes on in the world on Wednesdays? I'm used to Tuesdays. I used to be used to Mondays. Now I'm used to Tuesdays. Now I'm here on a Wednesday. I feel lost. However, the world goes on. And I got some good sick stories for the week. I see the NBA. There's no NBA tonight in protest. I see that the Republican National Convention is going on. Oh, that's been entertaining. Is anybody watching the National Convention? No? Well, sitting with me right now on the other end of this line, managing us is someone I know who's not watching the convention, and of course it is Jade Zabrick. Jade, are you watching this convention? Are you getting any entertainment with me? You did? All right. Is your mic on? Can everybody hear you? Okay. Jade says she has watched the highlights, but hasn't really sat down to watch. The biggest laugh so far since the beginning is Kimberly Guilfoyle. We used to know Kimberly on Fox News. She always occupied the leg chair. She's referred to herself as a first-generation American, even though her mother is from Puerto Rico, which has been made her a U.S. citizen since 1918. But her father's Irish, so I guess she's splitting it down the middle. She's half a citizen. But either way, she gave this speech, if you haven't been watching, and she was talking and screaming to like she had a crowd in an arena. But there was nobody there. And as she gave up this big build-up to the end with this big smile on her face, with this look of awkwardness because there was nobody there, and she started off screaming like there was 100,000 people listening to her. It's hysterical. Social media is having fun with it. I found the video on YouTube from the Young Turks radio network where I couldn't stop laughing as to what they were talking about. And, of course, people are having fun with it all over the place, editing in Disney characters and all that other stuff. But it has been entertaining. But there is a couple of things I noticed. One is, whether you agree with what they say or not, or you appreciate them or not, Melania Trump delivered a nice speech last night. She was very good at it. And, of course, she looks terrific doing it. His youngest daughter, Tiffany Trump, she had the softest of all sounds. I mean, she was like, everything's, oh, and my father did. They were trying to make him a person as opposed to the Donald, so to say, I guess, or the president. But there was, what you found was, between two sons, a daughter, and a wife, is that there was no stories. Nothing in the speech of, and it reminds me of a time when my father was doing this, that, or the other thing, and we were talking. There was nothing in the context of a family. Nothing other than we knew who they were. To me, that's pretty sad. That really is. That's pretty sad. But tonight goes on again. More people, whoever's talking tonight. Then tomorrow, and Thursday, we get Rudy Giuliani. We'll be talking. That's always entertaining. I have no idea what he's talking about. And I like how people want to look authoritative on stage, and they give you these little short points. It's like they have this little half a fist, that one finger going, and they're pointing, and these little hand gestures is going on and on and on. And to me, it's entertainment. To me, there's nothing in either party that if you know who you're going to vote for, there's nothing anyone can say in either convention that would change your vote. But good luck. Let them all try. We do have some odd stories this week. I always say odd because that's what they are. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the week because, I don't know why. That's just where I'm going. Let's see. What is this? The doctor who said she would give Jews the wrong medications loses her license, which I was very happy to hear. Because who needs that? Look at this. Yeah, she lost. This is a thing from a couple of weeks ago. So I just figured I'd mention the headline. She mentioned this a while ago. So, and as usual, I wouldn't be happy unless this simply, my computer simply gave me a hard time while I'm talking to you. That's the necessity here. What else is going on? I was reading about the trends as of late, ghost kitchens. You know what ghost kitchens are? When you go into a food service, like an app to have delivered to you, you think you're ordering it from a restaurant, and a lot of times you're not. You're ordering from a service. And independent chefs, independent a lot of people, are simply a service. They rent out kitchen space. They have kitchens. That's all they are. You think you're getting it from one specific place, but you're not. And I'm reading that the trend in 2019, this was a 5%. 5% of the meals prepared came from ghost kitchens. That's what they're called. In 2020, it is 20%. Of course, a lot of times people are not going to a place to pick up their food to take out. They're calling up anybody, which they call anybody anyway. Never forget, I was talking to a delivery guy a couple of years ago who was telling me he showed up to a door one day with a meal and like 4 other delivery guys were hanging out there too. Everybody ordered from somewhere else. But that is a trend, and it's going to go up. It's definitely going to go up because that's just the way it is. What is this here? Okay. We're going to play a song. We're going to play song number 1 on my list. Now, this is one of the things I like about this is besides I like the song itself, is I'm playing the album version. The album version, if you don't mind, is 5 minutes, 3 seconds. Why I'm mentioning that is because when this came out, you had the 45 version, which was simply a single song on a record. This would be the size or the time limit you would hear on the radio, which I think for the song was 3 minutes, 43 seconds. Look at me giving a history lesson here. But anyway, I don't know. I always liked the song. This was written by Lolly Vegas, but this is a song that was made by Redbone in 1974, and this is Come and Get Your Love. on the computer, but you still got me. I'm reading this thing from a few days ago. Let me take this piece of paper away. I'm reading a thing from a few days ago, which is New York City. Mayor de Blasio has no plan for the return of indoor dining in Manhattan. I don't know what the man is thinking about. I understand the concern, but I don't understand what he's thinking about, that there's no plan for it. We are leaving August in a few days. We'll be in September next week. The permit plans that people got for outdoor dining, permits they have, which lets them do it on and off the curb, sidewalk and street, will be expiring at the end of October. Now, even if the warm weather holds in through November, the plan is still up in October. And unless someone extends street dining, you're pretty much going to go backwards, and all but everyone's going to have to close, because not every place is set up for takeout food. And well, actually, not every wine bar, every last bar serves food. So there needs to be some sort of a plan, because I understand what's going on, but life at some point has to go on. One way or another, life goes on. And there needs to be some sort of a plan. Now, I understand how the numbers came down, which is people wear their masks, they stay the hell away from each other, and I say stay the hell away from each other. They wash their hands a lot, and we had a lot of rain. And normally people would say, oh, look at all the rain we had, but it helped. It really did help. It kept people inside. It kept people away. But now, I know there's not really a whole, at least a grasp of what, or at least I don't know. There's not really like solid information about what this virus is about, or at least not that I am hearing about. I hear countries are saying they have a vaccine. The president wants to fast track the vaccines we have. The CDC for the government, I can't even talk today. The CDC was pressured from the top down, I'm reading, about lowering the number of tests. Well, yes. According to our president, if you stop testing, you have less cases. Yes, that is true. And eventually you will record the very last case, and you will have no cases on the books because no one is testing. So what we really need is more testing, but we still need, once you have the results, we still sort of need, what do we do with it? What is making this virus tick? Not so much how to keep the numbers down. How do we erase? What do we do with the virus itself? That's my concern. Otherwise, I'll sit home watching movies for a while, but at some point in time, I want to go out and get a meal also, like a lot of other people. So anyway, that's a concern, the mayor's lack of planning. Oh, and by the way, I was reading, of course, I got it out of the New York Post, which is easy. It's an easy website to work with. From NASA, they say there's an asteroid heading our way the day before the presidential election comes up. So November 2nd, we will have an asteroid coming. I'm not sure if it's a red Republican asteroid or a blue Democrat asteroid, but either way, we have we have an asteroid coming, and I'm not quite sure who it's coming here to punish. Maybe it's coming here to punish me. What else is going on in the world? Kim Jong-un out of North Korea has ordered pet dogs to be confiscated. We're not sure what they're going to do with them. Somehow I get the impression that food on the table is on the agenda. I'm not quite sure why house pets dogs, I should say, have to be confiscated. But okay. The House, if you're not keeping up with the news of the week, the House has approved a bill to send $25 billion to the United States Postal Service. It has not gone to the Senate yet. We'll see where that goes. This was a German thing. Wait, let me get this story up. Fans crowd into an indoor concert in an experiment on how to return to normality. Again, that's trying to plan. I don't know what normality is, but life has to go on. This comes from Leipzig, Germany. Ever since the coronavirus pandemic shuttered clubs, bars, and concert halls around the world, music fans have been dreaming of the day they can once again visit a busy, sweaty venue to enjoy a gig with friends. So do I. And they arranged 1,500-person experimental indoor concert last Saturday to understand how COVID-19 spreads at big, busy events and how to prevent it. Well, let's see. Fans were given respiratory masks, fluorescent hand gel, and electronic contact tracker. So they will know exactly who you interacted with. Small transmitters that determine the contact rates, the contact distances, and of the individual experiment participants. Okay. And that's what they're doing in Germany. I don't see the results as of yet, but we're going to find out. That's what's going on in Germany. It is 5:20. Let's see. Do I want to play a song now, gang? Someone send me a signal. Do I want to play a song now? Yes, I do. Because what would a show of mine be? That's my music list, gang. My files of all my music, all one piece of paper of it. If I didn't have a Mavericks song on here, what would I do if I didn't bring the Mavericks with me? They just released their album in Espanol. After 30 years of being a country band from Miami with a Cuban singer, they released finally a Spanish album. And I was looking, let's see, do I actually, yeah, I only have one of their songs this week. I feel so naked. Anyway, from their brand new album in Espanol, they're covering a 1983 Juan Gabriel song. This is the Mavericks, No Vale La Pena.
No vale la pena lo que tú me quieres, porque es muy poquito. Eso no me llena, no me es suficiente, quiero otro tantito. No vale la pena tus distantes citas, casi no te veo. La intención es buena, nadie te lo quita, pero más yo quiero. No vale la pena, corazón, ese amor de un rato. Si siempre yo te veo, corazón, muy de vez en cuando. No vale la pena, date cuenta de eso, que lo que tú me has dado es una miseria, son muy pocos besos para un enamorado. No vale la pena, corazón, ese amor de un rato. Si siempre yo te veo, corazón, muy de vez en cuando. No vale la pena, date cuenta de eso, de lo que tú me has dado es una miseria, son muy pocos besos para un enamorado. No vale la pena.
Gang, before I forget, I don't want to forget this, very important. Sean Connery has turned 90. Happy birthday to Sean Connery, our favorite James Bond. Well, actually, I liked him in many, many different roles. But yeah, that's what he's known for most. And Sean Connery has turned 90, so happy birthday, Mr. Connery. And that's what I got to say about that. Okay, let's see if there's got to be one serious story. You know, usually I bring a lot of these ridiculous stories with me, but sometimes you got to sort of have a serious story. Okay, I'm not going to go into too. Let's see. Well, in Australia, Victoria's gag law means sexual assault survivors have lost their legal right to tell their stories. And it says the state of Victoria has passed a new law that legally bans all sexual assault survivors from speaking out using their real names in cases where the offender has been found guilty, meaning tens of thousands of survivors have lost the legal right to share their stories. The gag law, which also limits survivors advocating for change and in turn protects convicted pedophiles and rapists. You got that? Okay. There's one. There's one. Next, Montana man accused of over 60 sex abuse crimes against children gets sentenced to 1 year. Got it? 1 year. Let me read a little of that. A man in Montana, back in America, a man in Montana, who initially was charged with more than 60 counts of child sex abuse, has received a deferred 1 year sentence after agreeing to a plea deal. William Edward Miller Jr. of Great Falls, Montana, was arrested in February of 2019 after a 14-year-old high school student accused him of raping her at her home a year prior. That's the basic thing of that story. Okay. 1 year. You got it? Okay. Yale. I'm going to a little bit bigger kids. Yale. Yale University administrator tells students to prepare for COVID-19 deaths. All right. I'm not talking about child rapists in this particular story, but here you have the head of Yale University, or somebody who's in charge of whatever they're talking about there, is telling students that they're opening no matter what. Be prepared to hear that students have died. That's another way of doing it. Let's see. I said the Victoria, okay, the gag law. Okay. What is this? New York City martial arts teacher gets 7 years for raping a 12-year-old student, and we'll just switch the times and the place. But it progressed. He was teaching the 12-year-old self-defense, okay, and then all of a sudden things progressed, and now he has a 7-year sentence. All right, let's just lump this together. All I'm hearing on television every day, Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. I mean, there's so many colors in the Crayola box, we can keep on doing Lives Matter all day long. Can we all agree on one thing, maybe? Let's forget the adults for a second and go with kids' lives matter. How about that for a second? Kids' lives matter. Because all I'm reading about here is I have one college executive dean or whatever the hell she is saying that be prepared that people are going to die people are going to die next to you because they may get infected. And then I'm going on to all kinds of child abuse crimes, rape. Gag orders that you can't tell anyone what happened after it's done. That is insane. I'm reading all the rest of the news on TV. I'm sitting in front of a television set in front of CNN. What's the breaking news now? A 17-year-old was arrested in the Kenosha, Wisconsin shooting of a couple of days ago. Okay, they got somebody. The kid's 17. But that's on the news. But what I'm not seeing is not too many stories about what I just read here. And I'm not reading that this is an active case that happened to someone last night. I'm reading that the laws around the world, depending on where you are in the world, is making it easier for the pedophile, for the rapist, whether it's a child or the victim is an adult. The laws are getting easier in certain areas for the felon. They're in jail for raping a kid. Now let's go back to the college for a second. You have the students are trusting that you're presumably providing a safe atmosphere, whether it's through subjects like we're talking about, a disease, a random shooter, whatever the deal may be, they're trusting that the best is being done to provide a safe atmosphere so they can do what college kids are supposed to be doing, learning and partying. That should be the end of it. And if they have a side job for money, good luck to them. Not being told, be prepared for death. So this is what I'm noticing in my week of news. Yeah, it's a lot to pull up in 1 week. 4 stories around the world, all pretty much dealing with one subject matter, that victims or potential victims really are just in deep trouble after the thing has happened, after the event has happened. No rights, no nothing. The people who, now put it this way, why did I throw in a Yale University story that is not about sex crimes in with this? Because the people who run Yale are responsible. So they are opening the college, at least in my opinion, and telling students to be prepared for death. If one kid dies, I want to talk to the person who set the policy. That's what I want to know. Who set this policy? Let's see if I have a name. It says a Yale University honcho has warned students to emotionally prepare for people to die, which can actually mean you should be prepared to die yourself. When COVID-19 with in-person classes begins this month. This is from Laurie Santos, head of the school's sprawling Stillman College, who wrote in an email, you should emotionally, I quote, you should emotionally prepare for the fact that your residential college life will look more like a hospital until the residential college, or more than a residential college. That's horrible. People start dying in Yale. I want to send the cops to Laurie Santos's house. Yeah, so right now, let's, for a little while at least for the duration of the show, which is 29 more minutes, go with Kids' Lives Matter. I'm going with that. That's okay. That works for me. Kids' lives matter. Even the 17-year-old who pulled the trigger and killed 2 people last night. He's 17. Somehow his life has to matter. But okay. All right. Remember that. KLM. Kids' Lives Matter. And I want to send the cops to Laurie Santos' house because she's pretty much telling you what's going to happen. I'm not sure if you're looking at the weather reports. If you're up in the Gulf Coast, Texas, Louisiana, ooh, yeah, it's getting hot and heavy down there with all the storms. Yeah, going into Category 4 winds. And yeah, this is big. Get into the basement. You know my belief. Get a flashlight. Get a phone charger. Get some water and keep it with you because they're looking at wind gusts from 145 to 175. It's going to be lots of fun in Louisiana. Oh my, it's 5:33. Time is flying, believe it or not. If you like anything I'm saying or hate anything I'm saying, you want to tell it to me either way, feel free to write to me at upfrontfrank@gmail.com. I listen to your opinions. I take musical requests. I'm pretty good that way. upfrontfrank@gmail.com. And Jade, well, you can't hear Jade, but she's going to answer me. I forgot. Are we writing? If you want to know about signing up for a show on your station, do we write to Skies Crescent Radio at Gmail or to you? Which would you prefer? Okay, if you have an idea about trying this and you'd like to get involved in doing your own web radio show, podcast, whichever way you want to refer to it, write to Jade at skiescrescentradio@gmail.com. SKYES. skiescrescentradio@gmail.com. And she'll be happy to tell you all the things you need to know. And you can pay her in cash, pay her in chickens, pay her in apples. She's good that way. Let's see what else is going on over here. Getting rid of the Yale story. Getting rid of all the low-life stories. I got your back, kids. There's nothing else. I'll teach you all how to play punch bowl. Kids should be playing, not worrying about this crap. What is it? It's 5:33. Look at that. I'll wait a minute before I play the next song. Why not? Got to be something going on. I'm hoping everyone's doing okay. I know people are getting back to work. I don't know. I took a cab I'm in Manhattan right now. I took a cab into Brooklyn. Nobody's working, but there was traffic getting into Brooklyn. I couldn't believe it. Not terrible, but I was still shocked. Anyway, what else is going on here? Yeah, I'm still looking at this picture of Kimberly Guilfoyle screaming her lungs out last night. Oh, here's a kid. This kid here. You remember Nick Sandman? Remember the kid a couple of years ago who was taking a picture at the Native American protest or whatever it was, and he was just sitting there staring in someone's face. Turns out the press got it wrong about him. Now, he's a kid, so I guess his parents got a good lawyer. They filed defamation suits all over the place. And while Nick is on the Republican convention on opening night, telling you how terrible life has been, oh man, painful. Earlier this year, he settled a lawsuit with the Washington Post for $250 million, and a separate lawsuit with CNN for $275 million. So this kid collected in total $525 million because he was insulted. It pays to be insulted in America. Now, hopefully, much like the child actor laws, this is put into a trust, so he gets it when he's an adult, a full adult, not just, my birthday was yesterday and I'm starting to spend it, a full adult. I wouldn't want his parents running through it, but I don't know if you can run through $525 million. But I don't even care what he has to say. He got $525 million. I don't want to hear about his defamation cases. Shut up. This is pretty good. Wow. I want somebody and Jay, please insult me so I can sue you for $525 million. Everybody write in an insult. I'll take up a group collection of lawsuits. I want 525. That's going to be my new daily number from now on, 525. Wow. Let's play a song, huh? Anyway, I've been sticking to some of my favorites on YouTube lately because people are doing this from home. And, of course, you come across that past work. And I've played this one before. Actually, not the song. I played from the album, a 2016 album, Memphis Rock and Roll. This song was originally done in 1966 by Sam and Dave. But a few years ago, Melissa Etheridge did it on her album. And this is Hold On, I'm Coming.
Lean on me when times are bad, when the day Don't you ever feel sad? Lean on me when the times are bad, when the day comes and you're down in a river of trouble and about to drown. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, here I come. I'm coming. Hey, so hold on, here I come. I'm coming. Hold on.
There you go. That was Melissa Etheridge. Now, let's see what else. Let's get to the random stories. I like those better. Okay, so I'm looking at the newspaper today. Yes, I do read newspapers. Not everything is on the internet. And this one here comes from Washington, D.C. It says, Black Lives Matter protesters accost white diners for not raising their fists. A group of young Black Lives Matter protesters harassed several white diners in Washington, D.C. on Monday night for not raising their fists in solidarity. Right? One of the dramatic scenes, which has since gone viral, was captured by Washington Post reporter Frederick Kunkel and posted to Twitter. That makes it official, gang. You're on Twitter. That's all you got to know. Video shows a crowd of young, mainly white demonstrators closely surrounding and berating the woman identified as Lauren Victor. White silence is violence. The crowd screamed, "Put up your fist." Victor, an urban planner sitting across from another white woman who was raising her fist, told Kunkel she felt like she was under attack. In the moment, it didn't feel right. This is a short story. I wasn't actually frightened. I didn't think they would do anything to me, and I'm very much with them. But I guess from the moment, she didn't have a fist up. So nothing says peace in solidarity, and talking about violence, like walking up to somebody with your fist in the air while they're eating and saying, "Raise your fist." Now, I understand what solidarity is. I know what the gesture is. Don't surround somebody at dinner. Keep this in mind, people. I am all for your causes. I think cause whatever you want. Pick any subject you want. I'm all for it. Whatever gets you through your day, whatever works. I think everything is all good. But just bear in mind, keep in mind a few things. One is not everybody believes in what you believe in, which is perfectly okay. Two, sometimes people are caught up in their own stuff, and they're not thinking of putting their fist in the air in solidarity. Maybe they're talking about something personal. Maybe they're just enjoying a good meal. Maybe they're doing something else. And sometimes, even if they believe in what you're believing in, sometimes either miss the mark or they're not paying attention. It's perfectly okay. Don't go surrounding people with your fists in the air. Not necessary. Just keep it in mind. Don't make a mistake. Because one mistake can ruin the cause and cause other problems. What else do we have going on here? This is a story that has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about. And I'm not quite sure why it's even happening. But remember, as I say every now and again, all the crazy stories I get come from Florida or Australia. Australia. Naked man caught showering in a car wash. And pretty much, one second, let me get to it here because, again, I'm using the New York Post page, and for some reason, it has this need to just get in the way of their video pages. Okay, here we go. A man was caught getting hosed down in the nude at a car wash in Australia. Security footage shows the naked man covering his crotch with one hand as he grabs the water hose in Parkland's car and dog wash in Queensland. All right. So he's bathing with the dogs, roughly. He then hands the hose to another man who sprays him down while filming the impromptu shower on a phone. They're calling him the nude dude who is seen jumping up and down as he gets splashed before being chased out by another man. Okay. Car wash owner Jeff Bowen said the chemicals coming out of the hose would likely have felt like chili juice on your skin. He'd be on fire. To do that, you have to be young and have young skin. Well, he looks pretty young. Yeah, okay. So there you go. Didn't feel like going home. I'm guessing going out for the evening, and showered himself with chemicals. This is good. This is good. It's 5:45. Oh man, I'm telling you, I see some of these things. I gotta laugh. I mean, before I even print them up or put them on my computer page, sometimes I am sitting home laughing my head off at some of this stuff. What is this? This is from the website. What is this? Screen Rant. It seems that Superman trusted one president with his secret identity. Look at me, my S's today. I had to take a drink. Superman once worked with a famous U.S. president, revealing his secret identity in a story that was both lighthearted and tragic. See, I can sound sincere and caring. As it turns out, the U.S. president that he did it with, well, not did it with, but as he revealed his identity to, was President John F. Kennedy. Some good cartooning, some good artwork, nice slideshow. And it turned out that that is who he trusted the most, President John Kennedy. And as it turned out, the secret went with President Kennedy. So anyway, that's what's going on. He didn't trust Lois Lane, Lana Lang, Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, or any of the Justice League. He did trust President Kennedy. So good for Superman. Anything Superman does is good by me, because he is my lifelong childhood hero. And that's all I got to say about that. The Queen has moved out of Buckingham Palace. She's going to wherever she's been staying. She's not having any part of it. She's hiding away. Remember, the Queen is eternally 95. And if she gets sick, that's sort of the end of that. So she's doing it. She's moved out. Cool. Let's play another song, please. Because it's 5:47. We'll be done soon. Anyway, I went back in time. You know, I like finding some of the older music. And don't tempt me. I'll go back to the 1940s as a habit. But anyway, I was just looking for a song. This was originally done by Willie Dixon way back when. But in 1972, he put this on his album, Everything Stops for Tea. This is Long John Baldry with Seventh Son.
Now everybody talking about the seventh son. In the whole round world, there is only one. Lord, I know one. I know one. Yes, I know one. The one we call the seventh son. Now I can tell your future if we come to pass. I can do things for you, make your heart feel glad. I can look up the skies and I predict the rain. I can tell when a woman's got another man. Lord, I know one. I know one. Yes, I know one. The one they call the seventh son. so sweet. Or making love with me, or how I'll skip a beat. I can make your baby hold you in my arms. I'll make the flesh will crawl out of your bones. And I'm the one. I'm the one. Yeah, I'm the one. I'm the one. One they call the seventh son. Yeah, the gypsy told my mama before I was born, you got a boy child coming, gonna be the son of a gun. He's gonna make all you women's gonna jump and shout. The whole world will know what this all about. 'Cause I'm the one. I'm the one. Yeah, I'm the one. I'm the one. The one they call the seventh son. Yes, I'm the one they call the seventh son.
That was Long John. That was Long John Baldry. He has some songs that I like a lot. It Still Ain't Easy is probably my favorite of all of them. You know, I'm reading on the news and I'm reading some of my social media stuff. And what does it say here? I'm looking at CNN. It says, back to COVID-19 for a moment. Total number of cases in America alone, 5,812,700. Total deaths, 179,344. Then I see some of the people I know who use these graphs, and create their posts, their social media stuff, bullshit, in terms of, well, of the 5.8 million who died, just under 200,000. The 5.8 million who were infected, under 200,000 were killed, which is an acceptable number. That's the basic message I read a lot. It's an acceptable number. No, it's not. I read, well, you shut down the whole country because 180,000 people. No, that's not why. And it's not acceptable. It happened, but it shouldn't be acceptable. That is the point. It should not be acceptable. We know someone's going to die. Somebody always dies. But don't think that there are acceptable numbers in it. It's tragic. If you would have told me 12, it would still be tragic. And, you know, everybody on social media with their posts and their thoughts, just whether it's because of an election, they want to get, they want to get their president reelected, they want him out, whatever the deal may be, they don't want to wear a mask. Shut up. Just under 180,000 people have died in America alone. 821,900 across the world have died of the 24 million cases that have come up. Yeah, if you're only looking at numbers and percentages, well, yeah, it's a low percentage count. I'll give you that. That's not good enough. Numbers lie. Math doesn't lie. That is the right amount. That's the right number. The math doesn't lie. But the context of it, the information put in, that lies. That's what's lying. People who are creating their own message, their own narrative. Just shut up. Just shut up. Let whoever died rest as well as possible. Well, it's 5:54, and I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to leave you with one more song. And I don't know, probably because of the title, I went with it. So this came out as the recent brand new single. This is from Seth Walker called We Got This. I will see everybody next week. Everybody, do the best you can. Have a good night.
I know we're having some doubtful times, fearful thoughts haunting our minds. We live with questions every day, wondering how in the world we'll ever find our way. But I want you to know I'm feeling strong, and I know together we can carry on. 'Cause we got this, gonna be alright. We got this, but now's our time, 'cause nothing's gonna stand in the way, ooh, of a change that we have to make. Together, 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 we got this. These hard times won't be the last. Think of all the trouble that we made it past. Oh, when our future seems so unclear, we gotta find a way to face our fear. Let's hold on, let's hold out, and we'll shine right through this shadow of doubt. We got this, gonna be alright. We got this, but now's the time, 'cause nothing's gonna stand in the way, ooh, of a change that we have to make. Together, 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 we got this. Let's hold on, let's hold out, and we'll shine right through this shadow of doubt. We got this, gonna be alright. We got this, and now's our time.